promotions. For those of you who knew me when or know me now, I did start, as counsel to a Westchester student advocacy, did that for several years, got a knock on my door and got invited to work for state ed, did that for 5.5, 6 years, and decided that there had to be better things to do with my time, although, it was an extremely valuable experience, and I have certainly, shared a lot of what I learned and know from that valuable experience. I then went back to advocacy, worked with statewide youth advocacy for a few years, and then got another knock on my door from a private law firm of all places that said, Karen, did you ever think of representing, school districts? At which point I said, no, why are you asking? And I said, well, because you might really have something to offer. So I thought for a minute and I said, well, if they'd listen to me, I might be interested. And so, long and short of that story is, 17 years later, I have been representing school districts, which happened to begin at the time that not only the United States Supreme Court decided that of course parents could sue for unapproved, schools and not play by the rules of the game. The rules of the game say you gotta work together, kumbaya, No, you don't work by the rules of the game. You go in a non-approved school, you sue your school district, and you prove that your school district doesn't know what it's doing, and you have a better plan for your child, and you win, and it costs a lot of money. Anyway, so much to my surprise, despite my mindset, which was that I had some real skills in understanding all sides of all issues, mainly because I had been on all sides of all issues, and I can talk to myself very well. As those of you who know me know that I have been inclined to do. And the next thing I knew, this firm was in its infancy stages at that time. I was probably doing more litigation than anybody. And I didn't understand how I got into it. And when I look back at my 17 years as a school district attorney, I came to realize that I was in a litigation tsunami initially for about 8 to 9 years. And I was trying to dig myself out and actually begged the United States Supreme Court to hear the very infamous pendency case, which decided that once you got a decision from the highest official that the non-approved private school that you could never get through playing by the rules had now become your pendency placement, and the thought of what that meant was just amazing. There was no end to it, and I started doing mathematical calculations of how you could parlay that one pendency for the rest of your child's career, but that it would mean that you would litigate or they would settle or whatever. And so the litigation became more and more prevalent. I believe you, and I know school boards. I had worked on some legislation to bring sanity to the state of New York to say, hey, if your state review officer has found this wonderful non-approved school to be appropriate, then, do an individual approval and be done with litigation and kumbaya and work together. That's still sitting somewhere. It's never gotten anybody's attention. I personally thought it was brilliant, but litigation continued because no one else did. So anyway, and then I went for, I had a dormancy period, and then I went into another tsunami with my good friend, for those of you who know him, Andy Cuddy. And our litigation was, hearings, who won, who prevailed, and ultimately how much are you going to pay me in attorney's fees. And so I went to the Second Circuit on another role about money. Okay, this was all about money. And then I said to myself, sometime around the time I became a grandmother, this is really stupid. Somebody a lot younger can do all of this, and I am happy to be a mentor, a teacher. You want to cry on my shoulder, all of the above, but it's not going to be me. And so I came to this firm and I basically said, I'm done. And, I was sort of saying, you don't need me anymore. And he said, Karen, if you think we're going to tell you to leave, we're not. So I'm still here, but I'm never here. okay? For those of you who try to find me, I'm rarely here, but I do love to be here just to visit with all of you and find out what's going on in your neighborhoods and your thinking and to help you in any way I can. So you are continue to be welcome here as I am. They won't even take my office away. It's amazing. But yeah, I'm really trying to move from litigation in terms of my energy to policy and to mediation. I am actually on the board of Mediation Matters. I know that you had the director there last year, and you're, who's my friend? Where are you? There she is. Yeah, who, came up to me one day and said, "Oh my gosh, this mediation stuff." I said, "Excuse me, you don't have to tell me anything. This is my love, my passion. It has been for a long time, and I will be devoting more time to that model here in the capital region, and I would welcome any invitation to serve as a mediator. I am also going to continue as an impartial hearing officer as long as, people know that I am impartial despite the fact that I serve you. When the question has been raised, I said, the reason that I work with this organization is because although people, are there working for school districts, I cannot help but believe that people who are devoted, to their work in special ed are devoted to children. So I don't see a conflict of interest, obviously. If I was asked to serve as a hearing officer in one of the districts, I would raise the fact that I am, I am continuing to serve as the council. So that's basically where I am. I still have the same passion, but I do know that litigation is for a younger generation. And like I said, I would welcome any opportunity to consult with anybody. I know that my best skills, or my happiest skills, the most gratifying, lie in an ability to really listen very closely to both sides, process information, and offer solutions. And I hope that the day will come that we all realize if you want a non-public school, here, go. Here's your chip. You want charter school, here's your chip, take it, leave me alone, don't darken my doorstep so I can focus my energy on the kids and the families that choose to be in my school. So, that is basically my aha moment, if you will. It feels right, it feels good, and who knows where it will all lead, I'll let you know, a year from now how we're doing. But that's pretty much my commitment to myself. Now, having said that, I just want you to know that if you hear that I'm in a hearing, I have one or two things. I'm a very compulsive person. When I commit to something, I pour my heart and soul in it. Probably something, I should have gotten better at, that professional aplomb. And I do have a few cases that I'm still trying my best to resolve. If I cannot, I have committed to see those through. But other than that, I'm not going to take anything new, except for something that might be so exciting that I can't say. But I would really love to all of you, and please spread the word. I would love to. We attorneys are funny. We're funny animals, and we know everything. Just ask us, and we'll tell you. We are not very good at consulting with other attorneys, and we see other attorneys as being threats, unfortunately. But the thing that I would really love to do more than anything, other than teaching, which I may pursue, teaching in law school, whatever, is to be a mentor. Because I really think that I have 35, 40 years of the most extraordinary experience, as I have often said, growing up and growing older and wiser in the world of special ed, having completed law school just about the time that the Education of All Handicapped Children Act was enacted in 1978. So don't tell anybody, start doing your math. And by the way, I was a late bloomer because I was a social worker before that, so I'm really anxious. Anyway, I don't know if anybody has any questions. I do have one thing I want to put in your heads though. I know you are planning your conference again. I love your conference. I think I told everybody, you know, that I thought that what you did last year was off the charts. I mean, you've been growing and going and, you know, every year this has been a better year than the year before. I never got any reviews, so I guess they must have been great, but.
They were. We did go through the evaluation forms. They were good.
Oh, okay.
Are you-
I don't know.
you still gonna do
Maybe
lit-
you did. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, my point being this, that I would welcome an opportunity, and I think Jay would too. I mean, Jay is truly a friend of this organization, you know, obviously aside from his role in public education, his wife, as you know, was a lifetime special ed teacher who retired, I think it was this last year, so this is her first year, she's on the loose. I do not want to be in a similar situation as we have been in years past. Jay, my calendar gets a little bit, a little bit full from time to time, especially when I decide to take vacations on Lake George on an island, which I've known to come back off islands to be at your conference. But Jay is really booked up, and so I guess what I want to say is if and when you're discussing what you want to do, if you see